Modern Warfare 3 was never supposed to exist. Activision forced its studios to cobble together a game in 16 months, resulting in the shortest and possibly most underwhelming campaign in the franchise and a multiplayer made up almost entirely of remastered maps that Ravensoft had finished in 2018. However, Treyarch took the opportunity to make a co-op experience that's given me some of the best times I've ever had on a COD game. This Zombies mode, as someone who's known quite a bit about how it would function, still surprised the hell out of me with how well everything that leaked came together. This mode, in my humble but also educated opinion, saves Modern Warfare 3 as a $70 gaming experience, with some caveats that I'll get into later. This is because the other two portions of this premium experience fall short of what pretty much everyone expected out of a full Call of Duty. Let's begin this review with the worst part of Modern Warfare 3, the campaign. Spoiler alert, by the way. Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer Games have come together to write another chapter in the ongoing story for the connected Call of Duty universe that started with Modern Warfare 2019. Much like in the original Modern Warfare 3 from 2011, Vladimir Makarov is public enemy number 1. Unlike the old Makarov, the new guy is, I don't know how else to say this, generic, I guess? I mean, this character was never particularly complex, but there was just something about the writing of the original Modern Warfare trilogy that established this guy as the root of all evil, screwing things up for you since the very beginning of the story without you even realizing it. Conniving, menacing, always one step ahead. The voice acting from Roman Varshavsky sold this really well, but in the new Modern Warfare 3, he's just some terrorist guy. You know, he's teased at the end of the last game. He has a history with Captain Price, and that's pretty much it. And no, he doesn't use clever tricks to try to use the Russian army as a battering ram against the West. He just has his own private army and billions of dollars. Maybe he got into crypto early or something. Anyway, the point is, this guy arranges his own prison escape, plants a bunch of bombs everywhere, like the world is his personal Counter-Strike map, and makes vaguely distasteful speeches towards the West. But again, the context and motivation for his actions are just completely missing from the story, so he's essentially just the villain of the week for our heroes, despite being built up as the ultimate threat, much like how the original Makarov actually was. And this is the main difference with the writing of the old Modern Warfare trilogy versus connected universe for all COD games 2019 and forward. We went from this Michael Bay over-the-top explosion-filled movies, essentially, to what feels like a weekly CW series where every action from our crew is these covert, secret missions that stop that week's bad guy before moving on to the next. The scale of these conflicts are just much smaller. Often the character you're playing at the time is the only jackass your superiors send in there to fight. What happened to the ultimate weapon is team? Oh, right, that was the dumb tagline of the last game. So, the gameplay of this year's campaign isn't terrible or anything. It's a solid weapon sandbox, and the game gives you plenty of chances to use it. However, just as it's picking up steam and getting exciting, like building to a solid Act 2, it just ends. Like, I was shocked that it ended on such a relatively pedestrian defuse the bomb mission. Much like how Halo 4 had you activating things with your Cortana USB stick, Modern Warfare 3 will have you defusing explosives a lot. Like, I get it. It's like a staple COD objective or whatever, but we gotta start mixing it up more, guys. And that's the problem. Right when the objectives start getting a little more varied, the game's already over. And no, I don't care for the fact that Soap and Shepard are killed off in this game. There's no build-up to Soap dying whatsoever. Makarov just domes him easily and runs away. It's cheap shock value to tie your memories to something that was otherwise unremarkable. And Price killing Shepard was justified, I guess. Too bad there wasn't a boss fight or anything we could do in game for that moment. That's another point of comparison, how this new Shepard falls far short of the original. I mean, that old man put up a fight back in the 2009 game. I mean, this new Shepard, much like his whole character, is just this lame Dick Cheney looking idiot that endlessly rambles about how hard his job is with the red tape that he has to navigate. And this whole mentality of having to be the stand-up good guy who stands within the red tape in the face of evil evil has been like the only theme of this new Modern Warfare trilogy. So I suppose it's a little bit refreshing for Price to be written slightly differently. And maybe future seasons of Modern Warfare 3 will actually move things along and we can get a different overarching theme for once. So yeah, the campaign is like a 3 out of 10 for me. The lack of development time really shows here, and here I thought Treyarch made a bad decision cutting campaign from the similarly rushed Black Ops 4. Though, if it would have ended up like this campaign, maybe they made the right decision after all. Moving on to multiplayer. Jesus. My thoughts on this multiplayer can be summarized by the following clip. Yeah, so much like the beta, this multiplayer gets a out of 10 from me. Okay, anyway, on to Zombies mode. This is bar none the biggest surprise of Modern Warfare 3. Even as I'm recording this video, I'm itching to get back in for any cool loot I've yet to acquire, camo challenges, and just progress through the variety of missions. Seriously, there's a ton of content here on launch that will keep you grinding for hours. Even when some of the objective moves the story along are a bit of a slog. I'm looking at you, cryo-freezing dog. Seriously, what asshole came up with that one? There are plenty of other systems running parallel to your mission progress that are always giving you something to do when hopping into a match. The gameplay loop, in a nutshell, combines the concept of building up a super soldier with upgraded weapons and perks from classic Zombies with the completing contracts and various objectives on an open world map from DMZ. And this makes for almost like an MMO dynamic of positioning around the map to make the most of how geared up your character is in order to get whatever you need done at mostly your own pace. And it's the little details here that make the mode shine as bright as it does. As a true blend of Zombies and DMZ mechanics, you load into an open world map with 24 real players. Players that aren't in your squad are marked with a dark blue icon on the minimap. They can be assimilated into your squad or simply ignored to do their own thing. The lack of PvP in this mode makes it feel less like a typical extraction shooter and more like a Destiny public event / patrol. If you've ever played those, you recognize the spontaneity of cooperation that the game design facilitates. Not only does it make for a more low-key, chilled out experience in comparison to multiplayer, but it's something that encourages players to help each other where they otherwise wouldn't. And there are several moments where all hope seems lost. You know, you have no self-revives, you got teammates that are down, and when all of a sudden some randoms show up to distract zombies and mercenaries enough for you to make the save. It shares in common those cool things about early DMZ that made every lobby a little bit different, but in a way that isn't going to become annoying or frustrating down the line like DMZ ended up. Speaking of which, yeah, F in the chat, boys. That said, the mode obviously isn't perfect. First, Treyarch did not design this mode with solo players in mind. The difficulty, most of what you'll play in the harder areas, are clearly designed around 2 to 3 players covering each other. Treyarch said that more options for solo players could be coming to Zombies in the future other than the dog companion Easter egg, but not much was said as to how that would come together. My guess is that when round-based comes to the game, a solo option will be included so you can, lower zombie count to compensate for lack of backup you'll be getting, spawning you with a free self-revive, etc. Basically everything they did for solo players in Black Ops Cold War. A longer match timer would also be much appreciated for gearing up into tier 3 without having to go through multiple runs. Stamina up in Juggernaut, they need to be buffed back to how they performed in Black Ops Cold War. And finally, we need to be able to queue up with 6 players in the lobby screen. 3 players by default is even less than the original Zombies mode, which was 4. And look, I understand Treyarch wants players to use the assimilation mechanic, but at the same time, don't force larger friend groups to jump through hoops just to play together. It's cumbersome. That aside, for me at least, this mode saves Modern Warfare 3 for me as a $70 investment into entertainment. And the way I see it, if there's at least one fun aspect of a game that keeps you coming back, then that investment is worth it. As someone who's had the opportunity to play with great friends, the way the game is basically meant to be played, I see the vision that Treyarch was going for, and I'm really excited for what's to come because there's a whole year's worth of extra content coming to this mode. And what they've shown already looks really impressive, and that's only the Season 1 update. So yeah, Modern Warfare 3 as a whole is like an 8 out of 10 for me personally. Zombies basically hard carrying the score as high as it is. And I consider the last game, Modern Warfare 2 to be like 6.5, just considering all of that game's modes. So, not considering DMZ or Warzone. So that's a clear improvement. And hopefully with both the Microsoft acquisition and Treyarch taking the reins on the follow-up to Black Ops Cold War next year, the score can be even higher. But that's all for this video. Make sure you drop a comment down below what your impressions on Modern Warfare 3 are. And also remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with the latest Call of Duty content.